Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Playdates and Travels, and today I want to wish you all, if you're watching this the day that I post this and film this, happy St. Paddy's Day. Today is St. Patrick's Day, which is an Irish holiday. It's a fun holiday to celebrate every now and then, and this is literally the only green shirt that I own. We just had a St. Paddy's Day dinner celebration the previous night with some friends, and of course my son was eating the corned beef with me and he got it on my shirt. So I'm hoping that doesn't come out on camera, because below my shirt level here, there's a little bit of corned beef still on this shirt, but I'm still going to film this video anyway. At any rate, I am doing a pin tag today that was created by the Disney Sisters. I saw this on their channel, and they are, if you aren't familiar with Disney Sisters, they are two sisters, Abby and Hope, who create these really fun pin tags and all these other different collaborations with different Disney YouTubers, and I happened to come across this one and thought this was a great idea for St. Paddy's Day. I didn't have anything else planned to post today, so I said, why not, let's go ahead and film this. So I am doing my part on this tag, which is to just answer a couple of different questions. I think there's 5 questions in total. Correction, there are 6 questions in total, and this is all St. Patrick's Day themed. So I'm wearing my my spring-like ears. These are actually from the Food and Wine. These are actually from the Flower and Garden Festival last year at Epcot. I won't be going this year. I didn't go last year either, but I got these in a mystery box and thought they'd be fun to wear as part of this video. And then I have my lucky rainbow necklace to go along with the whole Irish Lucky Charm theme, because that's the only jewelry that I own. I actually don't own anything green, so this was a plus to find this. But at any rate, let's get into the pin tag. So if you like pins and you like pin tags, please keep on watching, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and let's get into it. Okay, so the very first question that they asked, and I really like the way these questions are worded, it's really cute. What's at the end of a rainbow? A pin! So the very first question asks us to show us a pin with a rainbow on it. Okay, so my first question, I'm going to cheat a little bit. The pin that I had in mind that I thought had a rainbow on it, it actually doesn't. It's more like a rainbow color effect, and so I had to switch gears a little bit. So the pin I'm going to show you something different, and this is an Epcot 35 pin that I picked up from the Character Warehouse, I believe, last year when I went in Orlando, and they had this beautiful Figment pin, and when I think of Figment and this particular pattern, I think of a rainbow. So it's rainbow-esque, not really a full rainbow, but this is the best I'm going to do for this particular question. So you can see there is Figment right there. He's like the unofficial mascot of Epcot. And then you've got like this rainbow effect behind him with the different colors. You've got pink, blue, orange, blue, another blue, and yellow. Maybe that's more like purple. But it's definitely evoking the idea of a rainbow. And I thought that'd be fun to put as part of this pin tag, especially because Figment of the Imagination is supposed to be considered lucky as well in some respect. So why not have the Figment be part of this St. Paddy's Day pin tag? Even though he's not a leprechaun and he's not like, you know, like an Irish figure, he represents luck to me in some way. He is a lucky dragon. So we're going to put him in our pin tag. Okay, the next question is your luckiest pin find. And so the purpose of this question is to show something that was lucky to you. The question actually says show a pin that was free to you, but because it says your luckiest pin find, I took that to mean more like what was a pin that was lucky that you even got it for free. And for that reason, I picked this particular pin. And this pin is a Walt Disney World. It's an open edition pin, but it's got a lot of bedazzled jewels in it. You can see the speckle jewel effect all throughout this castle, and it does represent Cinderella's castle, which is one of my favorite castles in the whole world. If you guys watched my channel before, you know that I'm a big castle person, and because it's so iconic and it says Walt Disney World at the bottom, I really like this pin. Now, I never actually picked this pin up myself. This pin was actually given to me. My family had the opportunity to stay at the Grand Floridian a couple years back, I want to say in 2017. Might have been in 2017. We stayed there, and we stayed there only because my friend was, wow, my husband is watching a movie right now and it's really loud, you guys can hear that. But a friend of ours was staying at a conference at the Grand Floridian with her family, and she invited us to be her guests of honor. And when you stay as the friend of someone that's going to a conference, you get a much discounted rate. So the nightly rate for the Grand Floridian was only $225, and we jumped on that because I didn't think I would ever be able to stay at the Grand Floridian for a lesser rate. That hotel usually retails or sells for upwards of $500 a night, and that's way too expensive for my family to sustain. So we did 2 nights at the $225 a night rate. Turned out my friend actually ended up paying for the room. We didn't expect that before the trip, so it was a really amazing trip. But in staying there, they're really nice customer service at the Grand Floridian, I have to say. One of the cast members, I think he was the lead that evening when we were checking in, he gave us this pin. He saw my daughter playing around the front, and he gave us this pin and a mug on the house for free. So this was gifted to us, and at the time I did not even collect pins. So I remember thinking, oh, that's a really nice gesture, but I don't collect pins. But when I started pin collecting the next year, this was in the back of my mind. Well, I do have that one Walt Disney World pin that I held on to that I got for free. So I consider this sort of a lucky pin find because it's what kind of jump-started my pin collecting. I didn't own pins at the time, and because this was given to me and I knew I had this really pretty pin, I wanted to put on display eventually, and this kind of inadvertently kicked off the pin collecting. So this is my luckiest pin find, I would say. And it's beautiful. Look at all that bling. And I'm sorry, I'm blocking the Walt Disney World logo. Okay, so the next question is, your pot of gold pin. Show us a Grail pin. So I have a couple of Grail pins that I have now been lucky enough to get into my collection, and I've shown you guys one before in a couple other pin tags, but today I'm going to show you my newest Grail pin that I just got my hands on, and for that reason it is considered my current pot of gold. So you're probably going to see this in another video, but if in case you see this one first, this one for sure. This is an Ariel Windows of Magic pin. These are really hard to get. I waited hours for this, or my friend waited hours for this, and I joined her the last hour, and we were unsuccessful. That's how quick these pins sell out. These are only Disneyland exclusives, so they have a magic hour, extra magic hour that morning when this was released, and the pins were sold out within that hour. So you pretty much had to be in line well in advance of that time, which my friend was, and I joined her, but they still sold out completely park-wide within a matter of, like, I think 40 minutes. So we were not successful in getting this pin. However, I then went to a friend of mine who I knew was going to be in the parks that day, an Instagram friend, who I knew would be selling one, and he cut me a deal and gave me this one much cheaper than what this is going currently on eBay and whatnot. So I'm very excited to have this Windows of Magic pin in my possession, and let me just give you guys a closer look. She's definitely a Grail because when I saw this was coming out, I knew I needed to have her. There was no choice. And here's Ariel with this beautiful stained glass effect behind her. She's got a beautiful purple bodice on. Right here is the amulet. You can see a dingle hopper. This actually looks like it might be a portrait of Sebastian the Crab. I'm not 100% sure. It could be a flower, but that looks like it might be Sebastian in some form. But this is a beautiful pin for me, and definitely my #1 Grail at the moment. When I knew this was coming out at the end of February, I had to have this. So for sure, this is my Grail pin I wanted to show as part of this pin tag because yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, the next question is the Emerald Isle pin, and you're supposed to show a green pin. So I actually have a number of green pins in my collection. It took me a while to kind of figure out which one I wanted to show. I have a Mulan comb pin that I thought I was going to show, and then I thought I was going to show my most recent trade, which is the Ariel green pin. But then I decided, no, let's go for the all-inclusive green pin, and that's right here. This is one of the princess dress pins that came out with Box Lunch, and this is my Tiana pin. I actually had two, but I traded the other one, and I just think this is a gorgeous pin. I love how fluffy her dress is. You can see that the entire dress pin is completely in green. You've got the darker green and the lighter green on bottom, and it just represents Tiana's beautiful dress. And I do like the little flower detail in the middle as well. And this is completely 100% a Box Lunch pin. So you could only have gotten this if you had gotten one of those mystery princess boxes and opened this up from Box Lunch. So I really like this pin a lot, and I thought this would be a great green pin to show you. I almost went with one of my alien pins, but I said, no, let's do this one, because this one's fully green. Fully green. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know, I'm doing a jig. But it just made me want to do a jig when I saw the next question, which is, lift your glass! Show a pin with a beverage represented. So, I only have one pin that has a beverage represented, thanks to my recent trade with Drew. So I am going to show this pin that I recently acquired, and I'm going to show that video soon. I don't think it's been published yet. And it is this pin right here, which is the Ursula Seafoam Disney beverage pin. So this is supposed to be like a soda can with a pin inspired by Ursula. It's from the mystery drinks packets that just came out last month. And this does say Ursula on it. Well, actually, it says seafoam made with real seaweed, and it says Sea Witch Special, but it's supposed to be like an Ursula themed pin. You can see like her tentacles in the background in the ocean, and this is just a fun, like, subtle, not so subtle, Ursula inspired pin, and I just love that it says Sea Witch Special. And this is definitely a drink pin, given that this is part of the new Disney Beverages collection, so for sure when I saw that question I said, ding! Now I feel like Yvette Lewis. Okay. The last question in this series is an Irish jig, which I should have saved my Irish jig for this question, but oh well. But you're supposed to show a pin with a dance or music represented. And I got very close to showing one particular pin, which was part of the Mouse Party series, where Mickey is like the conductor and conducting an orchestra. I think that is a gorgeous, gorgeous pin. However, I then changed my mind and I wanted to show you this one instead. Ta-da! So this is none other than my girl Ariel, and she is depicted from the scene from the Ariel ride in the Disney parks. And this does say Magic Kingdom, so this is the Magic Kingdom version. It says Under the Sea, Journey of the Little Mermaid. And in this particular pin, you can see her like with her hair coiffed up in that scene from the ride where she's just like dancing. And this is a whole Under the Sea scene where they're just singing under the sea, na 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 do do do. And so you have all the characters. I don't know if that's coming out so clearly, so I'll do a close up. But you have the turtle on top, you have Sebastian in the very far corner, and then you have all the different characters, the different sea creatures who are performing the concert. There's Flounder hiding tucked underneath Ariel's arm, and you have just everyone looking very happy and in this beautiful scene. And of course you have the big blowfish from the blow that blowfish blow part. So yeah, I just think this is a fun scene. It definitely encapsulates that particular scene from that movie moment from Little Mermaid where they're singing under the sea. So I thought since this was sort of a more in-dance type of pin, that this would be perfect for this particular category. And I think that this pin is just so much fun. This is another one of my more recent finds from last year's Disney World trip. I definitely picked this one up because I am a big Ariel fan, and I just think this pin's really gorgeous. I like all the different elements and the colors on here. Okay, and that is it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this pin tag. I know that I'm posting this on St. Patty's Day, so it might be a little bit late for someone to actually try this themselves, but I'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and tag a couple people anyway. I'd love to see Enchanted Rita do this pin tag, and I'd love to see my friend Christy from Christy's Corner do this pin tag as well. So those are my two tags. I'm not going to tag anyone else, but if anyone else wants to try this out, feel free to go ahead and do this pin tag. And thanks again to the Disney Sisters for creating it. I thought this was a lot of fun. I thought your questions were great. It's nice and short. And yeah, I just thought it would be fun to put up for St. Patrick's Day. So hope you guys are enjoying the holiday if you are celebrating it all. And if not, you know, feel free to go have a cup of tea or beer or something, you know, wear something green to make yourself just feel like you're part of the element. I am not Irish in any respect, but my husband is part Irish, so I do get into it that way. But yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye!